everyone, so today I'm going to be doing a step-by-step tutorial on how to do a silk press and also how to trim your ends to maintain better health and turn your hair from what it was previously into this in just a matter of a few minutes. And I'm going to do a step-by-step process explaining how I achieved this look and what I used to achieve it. I did this demonstration in front of my friends, and I also did this on my friend's hair as well. So I didn't have to blow dry her hair because it was already pretty straight, so I just used Silk Infusion, a rat tail comb, and that was pretty much it. So what I did was I parted her hair off in the back. I start in the back and work my way up because I feel as if it's better to work that way because hair doesn't get in your way when you go bottom up versus top bottom. So, and I also worked in small sections because I feel as if working in smaller sections allows you to get the better result and get more of a sleek, clean look versus kind of choppy. So I take the remainder hair after I part the back off and I place it all into a ponytail holder just to get it out of the way while I'm trying to section it off and straighten it and everything. So then I take my comb and I comb through it just to get all the tangles and everything out. And then I split that section into two because I didn't want to straighten that much of a section of hair. So I sectioned that off and I combed through it, and I also applied the Silk Infusion to it, so when I straightened it, it'd be a bit more silky. It doesn't require a lot at all. I just used a little bit, rubbed it on my fingertips, and then rubbed it through the roots and then the shaft of her hair. And I just continued this process for a little bit. And then here's the next clip of me taking the flat iron and going from her roots down. So I took the flat iron over her roots just about 2 or 3 times after I combed through it. So I combed it and then I took the flat iron and I went over her roots like 2 times and I went down, and after I did, I made sure to comb through it just to ensure that everything was straight and nothing was tangled. With this, you also want to make sure that you don't use too much heat. Make sure your flat iron is on at least medium heat so you don't damage the hair. The American Academy of Dermatology states that excessive heat can damage your hair. So I finally got this section the way I wanted it to look, and then I moved along to the next side. And once again, applied the Silk Infusion to my fingertips and rubbed it just a little bit. And then I place it at the ends of the hair and the roots just to get it, all throughout the piece of hair. And then I took the flat iron and I went down her hair with it once again. Also, don't forget to make sure to go over your roots at least 2 or 3 times and then gradually make your way down. Now, personally, steam isn't a bad thing, but if you're getting too much steam, that's when you know your flat iron is too high because you don't want to burn a person's hair off. And you also can see that just from these 2 sections that she has pretty bad split ends in the middle. But we'll get to that issue in just a little while. So I went ahead and sped the video up just so you weren't watching for the actual amount of time that it took. So I just kept going through applying the Silk Infusion and making sure to go over the strands 2 or 3 times. And I also made sure to cut her split ends as I worked my way up. According to Healthline, the only way to handle ends that split at the roots is to trim them off. And it's best to trim your hair every 8 to 12 weeks if possible. So I turned her around to the front so it was a bit easier for you to be able to see the process from the front and not just look at the back of her head the whole time. But we finished this in a fair amount of time, and honestly, I was very satisfied with how everything turned out. I continued the same process. I actually ended up turning the flat iron down just a little bit in the front because I just felt like it was too high halfway through. But yeah. So this is me just going over it continuously, and then after I finished, I kind of went back over the roots just to make sure they were straight and I liked the way they came out. I also trimmed her ends again. I made sure to do one more comb through just to make sure I was satisfied, and this was the final result. She was very happy and so was I. Well, that's all guys. Thanks for watching.